I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes weekly news update, where we take a deep dive into all the happenings of the week. But first, if you can tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then you can stay up to date with everything that this channel has to offer. Hey everyone, I know this video is a bit late, and a lot happened over the 2 weeks since the last video personally, which is why this video is late. Now, I did put a message out there about COVID and what happened in my household, and I want to thank the entire community because a lot of you reached out to me via Discord, in-game, various other ways to basically wish my family well and see how we're all doing, and I appreciate it and I love the community for that. As an update, everyone is better now. Everyone's testing negative. My wife did get hit hard by the virus, but she is now up and running again. She's back at work. She does have some diminished lung capacity, but everything's going good on the health side. Now, I did record this video before, and it was all slated to release this past week. However, us here in the Northeast got hit by a big blizzard, and you know, one thing led to another. Did not have the time to edit the video, especially since I kind of hurt myself in the 3 hours it took me to shovel out my property. But not a lot has actually changed, so this video is actually going to contain the bits that I recorded before, as well as updated information as to the progression of those storylines. Now, before we move into the multiple patch notes that I have missed, and we're going to go over them, I want to give an update on the little pilot, because we've actually hit some major milestones right now. Currently, right now, he is sitting up on his own. So he's loving that aspect. He just wants to be sitting up all the time now. And we've gotten our first tooth in. Now, it is a little bit weird because I'm told, and from my previous ones, usually the bottom teeth are the ones that come in first. He actually has a canine as his first tooth coming in. And we actually now see a second tooth coming in, and it's the other canine. So, yes, in a way, I guess you can say my little pilot is now a vampire. Also, I want to announce that on the 2nd, the little pilot turned 1 year old. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been following his journey for the last year, and I thank you, my wife thanks you, for being invested in his development and everything else. But yeah, he's doing great. Like I said, he hit all those milestones, and yeah, we hit that big milestone where he is now 1 year old. And now, just before we jump into the patch notes and the game news, before we get to the community news and, you know, everything that you guys love about these videos, I do want to announce a format change that we are going to be doing to the channel with these videos. Now, this video is going to probably be the last long video that's going to be aired. From this video moving on, we're going to break each episode down into 2 sections. We're going to have each week, as in other words, this week, this episode is 57, the next episode will be 58. Starting with episode 58, it's going to be coming out in 2 parts. The first part's going to be your patch notes, your dev Q&As, anything game related is going to be in that video. And then the following video will be the community news and, you know, what the fit, bounty board, and of course the kill mail contests. I just want to give a little bit more of your time, your valuable time, back to you. And no, trust me, I love that you, most of you watch my videos all the way through. But I know some of these videos are with more news and more things going on in the game. They just keep getting longer and longer. And so we're going to try and keep each video between 18 to 26 minutes. And with that, let's go back to past me discussing about the patch notes. Now, there is one correction I wanted to make before we start off and dive into the patch notes, and that's on how I said that the ship rental works. I was corrected. They want me to know that 1, the ship does not need to be fitted, and 2, to get the max satisfaction points, you just need to match the icon at the top of the level requirements, i.e. if the requirement is a combat type or Tech 5 or higher, will yield the same amount of points for either an APOC Striker or an Omen Trainer. Also, number 3, they do range from 2 hours to 20 hours. So thank you for pointing this out, guys. I appreciate it. And since the last episode, there's been 2 patch notes iterations. The first was on the 18th, and that's just to extend the events that such as the soft drink Splendor. Now that's a new super soft drink company has basically launched its soft drink. Basically, what it is it's like you do these things and you get randomized generated number. It's a lottery. You get lottery numbers. It's a pick 4. And the drawings are going to happen multiple times throughout this event until February. And the prize is a bunch of these coupons. And as always, you would use these coupons in the new coupon store to buy all the goodies that they have there. Also, when they released this, the new DRR Reflection, that's right, that's the 3 vs 3 war games. And I'm telling you, everyone's having a blast with it. It's fun. It is open at all hours during the weekend. However, during the week, it is only set for 3 hours, which does kind of screw up with a lot of people. The same gripes that everyone had with the original Faction Warfare, that's only in certain blocks of windows. So you have to be available in those blocks of windows to partake in this event. Now, that being said, it is a little lopsided. Just to show you here, I've been flying with my APOC Striker, and I got in a match with 3 pilots, all flying Ibises. So you can basically see how that match went. But it's basically set up so that you're kind of penalized if you don't bring in a battleship or a high-end ship. Most fights I see are all battleships. Some are bringing in battle cruisers. Now, the ones that are bringing in cruisers, it depends on the cruiser that they're bringing in. I've seen some like Bellicose 3 Covert Ops doing very well. I've seen some Arbitrator 3 Covert Ops doing very well. And they're just basically coming in, working with their team for E-War. They're sensor dampening, they're tracking, they're setting up with the tracking. So it is, in a way, a good fit to bring in. However, if you are flying solo by yourself and just randomly put in a group, they are terribly lopsided at times. Now, we've all brought this to the devs' attention. I, myself, suggested to the devs using a point system where each class of ship equals a set amount of points, and then each team can only work with a set amount of total points. This would work for better variations of fights instead of just, you going in there and there's 3 faction battleships and whoever can kill, whoever can inflict the most damage first wins. There's really no strategic value in this, so it is kind of geared right now to bring in those Tech 10 ships, the Strikers, as well as faction battleships. That being said, it is still a lot of fun. Now, from the 18th patch notes, there wasn't really anything. They updated the market, values. We know this. They also adjusted some questions and answers for the think tank building project and issued compensation. Because, some of the questions they were asking were dumb. I'm sorry. But there was one was a gem. One was what is the best to use in close ranged fights? And the joke answer was nunchucks, but that's a fantastic answer. But the one gripe that everyone has is, you warp into a belt, or you jump right inside a gate, and there's 8 retrievers, and they all target you at once, or there's 8 tornadoes, and they all target you once, and ask you, what do you do? Do you burn back to the gate? Do you warp away? And the correct answer is you report them for cheating. It's basically hearing that, you should think that this is bots, but, if it's a gate camp, obviously everyone's going to target you at the same time because you're the first fresh body that came in through the gate. So, hopefully, I believe that was the changes that they made, and they did issue compensation for it. And on that patch notes, they did fix an issue where some players could not open the Alliance diplomacy interface due to the empty data created by an Alliance being disbanded. Now, the newest patch notes that came out just a few days ago did also bring us the other new event, that's the Lucky Capsular Draw. And this works kind of like, I forget which one it was, but it's like, you spend the coupon, or the ticket, and it spins around the wheel, and if you're lucky, it'll land on one of the good ones, but you have a chance of winning everything. You just have to get the tickets that you can either buy with the coupons through the coupon store or using real Plex to buy these tickets to get everything on the wheel itself. And just remember, every time you use these tickets, the drawing does go up. You know, it goes up multiplied by 2. Now, the first phase of this lucky capsular draw is from the 27th of January to February 6th, and then this phase 2 of it will be through February 7th to February 16th. And the prizes range from, you know, additional coupons, skill points, nanocores, the classified 2 gravitational wave graphs, you know, things like that. Everything that's been basically popping out since they started this massive event with all these things. Now, they did also do a few things. They updated the estimated prices based on the successful transactions on the market. We know this. They do this every week. You should expect it by now. You know, 2, that you must confirm before repackaging nanocores. You have to type it out. Number 3, when fighters are unloaded, the fittings will be automatically repackaged and stacks. And here's a big one, actually. You can compensate only for your nanocore by unchecking the ship hull when using the insurance system. So, those of you out there that does have the nanocore for your capital, your carrier, or your dread, and you don't have the insurance points to, you know, resurrect that capital ship, but you don't want to lose your nanocore, well, now you can just resurrect your nanocore, because unfortunately in this day and age it is cheaper to just rebuild from scratch that capital ship than actually spending the money on the insurance points to bring it back. Now, they did also release last week the dev Q&As. Now, there are always 4 questions. 2 of them I'd like to focus on. The first was actually a sovereignty question, and it's more specifically asking about the drone area. You know, when is the drone region going to open up? What do they plan on doing that? You know, for these newer corps who are coming up trying to get sovereignty. And now they did say that they do have a long-term plan for the far sub-galaxy, which that's what they refer to as the drone region. And now that they are still in the early ages and it will not be released until late 2022 or early 2023. Now, I do remember the devs at one point talking to us in the content creator section about their plans for the drone regions, and I believe they're going to change the drone regions just a bit from EVE Online to make it the new section for the Zhang Yun faction. So they're going to bring the Zhang Yun ships in there, not just the prototypes, but the full ships and the lore behind everything, and they're going to issue it into those regions. But let it be known that when they do release those regions, it is going to be a very fertile area to get your. It's going to be the most sought after area in EVE Echoes. So do expect to see a bunch of people, you know, bull rushing to those sections and some wars and battles over those regions. Now, the second question I wanted to focus on was about force auxiliary ships and super carriers in EVE Echoes, as well as faction capital ships. You know, when are they going to be released into the game? And the devs basically said that they do plan on bringing these ships in, but you know, they haven't determined when they're going to bring in. At least don't even think about seeing it for the next 6 months, because they will not be in here. It's now time for your Plex market report, and I am saying that Plex is on the high side, trading just over 2 million per Plex. So if you do have additional Plex that you want to offload and get a little extra change, now would be the time to do it. I don't expect it to go higher than 2.1, 2.2, and I don't expect it to go lower than 1.8. It seems we have settled around that area in the last few months for Plex prices in general. So we are talking about the war between Genesis and Silent Alliance, and as of the last 48 hours, the momentum is with the Silent Alliance, where in one day they took out 3 soft points of Genesis. That's 3 corporation citadels. The first citadel was in period basis, and that is Citadel 4BL1 Tech X. That citadel worth 22 billion ISK, named the Reckoning. The following citadel, right in succession, was in Paragon Sol, GTAC M4GK. That one worth 14.5 billion. And the last one of that day is in System 16P TAC PX, worth 14.6 billion. Now, these battles happen back to back to back, and I do got reports of black screens and disconnects, as we have from the big fights. Unlike the Chinese servers, which have no issues, but that's a whole nother can of worms. But I am told that Genesis pilots as a whole are in still high spirits. Morale is still high. They are enjoying the content, and that's the reason that they de-leveled the citadels from 2 and 3s down to 1. The direct quote from Mama is that we build them to blow them up. This coming off the back of the 1-year anniversary of that war between Genesis and I remember the Golden Horde. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the other participants. I believe it was Void. But this was also the time when Golden Horde announced that they were jumping in against Genesis Alliance. And that was the destruction of their last citadel in WX. Now, today, on the 3rd, they revisited this by having a hold timer in the WX system, where Silent did go to take down the Citadel. I am told by reports, because I was not there, that the Silent fleet did turn around after seeing the defense fleet and reshipped into a bunch of interceptors. And when this Scepter fleet came on grid to attack, that's when Genesis undocked 12 capital ships, carriers and dreads alike, to meet that Scepter fleet and start annihilating them. Now, it was not a fleet wipe. The Silent fleet did get away. I am told there is somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 interceptors killed. The exact numbers I was told was that they reshipped into about 100 to 120 interceptors to harass the WX Citadel and the brawling fleet that Genesis had as a defense. Momosaurus Rex states that when the Silent Fleet warped on grid about 150 to 200 km off, they unleashed the carriers in light fighters, and about 30 to 40 died before they realized what was happening. I'm saying they warped off grid about 600 off and watched the Citadel and WX repair along with the whole rest of the fleet. And also, this is about the 3rd or 4th iteration of me recording this, because so much has been happening in this war and my stretched very thin time. I am going to play back the other things that I recorded, because those are still valid. These are the other citadels that were felled in the last 2.5 weeks as well. But as stated, the momentum in this war currently right now, even though spirits are high on both sides, is with Silent Alliance getting those citadel kills. Now, I reported last episode on how Silent has been gaining momentum, taking down Citadel after Citadel, and that momentum has been carrying on in the last 10 days, where they have taken down a number of Citadels from Genesis and, removing some of their SOV. Now, Genesis as well has gotten some victories, but it's seeming to have a little bit of a stalled phase right now in their offensive, because it does seem like they are on the back foot in a more defensive posture. Now, before we delve into the actual fights and the structures that were hit and lost on both sides, let us just focus on exactly what this new phase of the war, the message is. And the message is spin. And we're seeing a lot of spin on both sides, or the accusation of spin on both sides, from both Genesis as well as Silent Alliance. They are both declaring that, no, you are falsifying information, or you're spinning in a way that, makes your side look better. Let's just deal in facts on the channel, and let's kind of cut the spin out altogether. Now, one of the first fights that happened over the last 10 days was in the system of ewok. Now, if you want a very good tactical analysis breakdown of this fight, go on over to Killmark Collector's, that's Scipio's channel, and he has a complete breakdown of that fight and how it went. And it's actually a really good watch. Now, the Silent Defense Fleet was on point. They did prevent Genesis from taking this Citadel, but during this fight as well, another force did break off and found another Citadel that was in in hull and vulnerable, and they were able to take that down. Now, I do have reports from Silent that this citadel was not reported as being in hull, so they do want to let all their pilots know and all their corporations know that if your citadel is attacked, if you are in armor, if you are in hull, just to be sure to report those timers in so that they can arrange a defense fleet. So that was one down by Genesis. Now, the next citadel down was scored by Silent, and that was in the system of M5 Tech CGW. Now, I did look into this, and I did ask about this. This is a corporation that did merge into Genesis, and therefore relinquished that citadel within Delve, because Genesis does not have active SOV within Delve. So this citadel was taken, but it is added to the scorecard because it is technically a Genesis citadel. Now, you can see this on both sides. Genesis also did take down some on the Silent side that were also not really Silent, and we're going to go into that. Actually, let's just go over the numbers total. Now, these numbers are provided to me by PM Blue and his Killmail parsing app, xVilx. Now, if you are interested in this, please contact PM Blue to get that installed on your Corp Discord or your Alliance Discord to keep track of all your kills and statistics. So, for the last 10 days, we have what I was given was 2 citadels down by Genesis and 3 citadels down by Silent. The numbers given to me was the 2 by Genesis was systems NLPB Tech 0, as well as P7Z Tech R3. Now, the funny thing about P7Z Tech R3 was that Genesis was taking the citadel down. They were doing all the damage. Now, someone from NE, a Silent Federation corporation, was actually able to snipe the Killmail on this. And then, that launched a whole nother propaganda war about, well, you guys didn't kill it, therefore it's not your kill, or where's the Killmail to show that you guys killed it. Enough is enough. That being said, the 3 citadels that Silent, again, was M5 Tech CGW. That was that Delve Corporation outpost, or sorry, citadel. You have another citadel in E2 Tech RDQ. That is in the heart of Genesis Federation territory. So that was a great fight and a great kill there. As well as another lost solve point in UR Tech E46. Again, in period basis. Now, there was some debate over another corporation outpost that was destroyed via transport in Nereus 2, and that was in Pureblind in the system of G95 Tech VZ. Genesis was claiming this as a Silent kill. However, upon speaking to leadership within Silent, this is a defunct corporation, NCT, that is no longer in the Silent Federation, and I'm told that they have not been in Silent Federation for the last month. Now, this does also go along with another citadel killed in Fabolus, in system TR07 Tag S, also within Genesis Federation. Now, as you can see through the kill mail, the damage was done by a Genesis fleet. However, the final kill was done by a Recce Raven Striker. That's Silent Federation. Now, I did ask Mamasaurus Rex for an official statement on the Citadel because I was trying to ascertain exactly what happened and what was going on with this, because that corporation that owns that Citadel still is spotting the Genesis tag. The statement was that they were killing our own. Dorf is not an active corp anymore. They merged into PIND a long time ago. Mana didn't even know it had been hit, so it was decided to remove it. It's why we didn't CTA for it. I see Hema warped on grid to shoot it last second. We do have some new corps coming in, and they were getting some decent spots cleared up for them if they want to launch their own Citadel. Basically, they're saying that the Dwarf Citadel was dead as well, that they couldn't upgrade it because the last key holder was AWOL. So it belongs to Mana, but we couldn't upgrade and Entosis, so they went for destruction. So basically, we're getting reports of citadels being killed in both zones, and both entities claiming that it's not part of their side. So I am basically saying that both sides, Genesis as well as Silent Federation, should do some house cleaning in their regions and remove any dead citadels and posses themselves, so as that they do not go on to the enemy's tally. Now, as an update to that number, I did contact PM Blue, the creator of the Auxilius Killmail Parser app, which again, if you are interested in that app, please go visit the website for that, or go contact PM Blue about how you can get this wonderful app for your Discord. But he ran the numbers from the 16th to the 18th. On the Silent Alliance side, the numbers that I was given is total number of posses killed, 36, number of citadels killed, 2, with a total ISK destruction value of 1.3 trillion. Now, I also got the numbers from Genesis that he gave me, which were exported to him. I'm showing total posses killed at 16, 2 citadels killed, and a total ISK destruction of 958 billion. So as it goes, this war is a bit more complex than, just one side beating down on the other side. Both sides are doing very well in what they're doing. The momentum right now is agreeable on Silent's side, but both sides must start feeling the weight of repeated CTAs wearing their pilots down. And the proof of such is in CTAs, whereas fewer and fewer pilots are showing up to some of these CTAs, which is leading to additional fights and strategic retreats. Now, I'm told that within the last 2 weeks, there were 7 hold timers about to expire on the Silent side that Genesis was poised to take. However, with the numbers of the defensive fleet, the Silent fleet did stand down and let those timers expire. It just goes to show you that how much of a meaningful defense can win wars. There's also a report of a Genesis CTA fleet that was destroyed on their way to that to their objective by a Scepter fleet. Now, I am receiving, conflicting reports. I'm told that, the Scepter fleet was 50 strong, and then in another report, I'm saying that they had 130 Scepters. So I don't really know the full numbers of this fleet. All I know is that the Genesis CTA fleet was taken out a few ships at a time by the Scepter fleet, as well as Phoenix Tassador making his way to the CTA fleet and getting ambushed in his Phantasm. Regardless of all of that, the war is shaping up to be content in a contentless game, at least for the many PvP pilots. So, like stated before, the end of the war could be in sight. We don't know how far it is. We just have to keep watching as both sides keep adapting and keeping the other on their toes, especially with the different squads at different time zones making attacks and defenses. Now, in other news, in what's shaping up to kind of mirror how the initial Pantheon Silent War started, there is some animosity and sparks flying between Void and Honk. Now, this all stems back to the intumescent belts, which are no longer in the game, but the last 3 that were in the game were within Void territory. And in a surprising move, Honk decided to take out those intumescent belts. And that's where we're going to start off with. Now, I did contact both sides, Honk as well as Void, and the statement I received from Honk was that they heard that there were 3 intumescent belts left in the game, all within Void territory, and that they really love mining square rocks, and also causing problems, so they started to mine them. It became even more fun when they saw how hard Void was trying to defend them. I'm told that the first belt was killed in system ZDB Tech HT and was killed by a ZRQ fleet of Balgorns and Procurers shortly after Honk started on it. And in true Honk fashion, they did launch some great, propaganda posters. The second of these belts was in system G063 Tech U, was also guarded hard, but after about a week of suiciding SRP'd what they call mining scepters, retrievers, and procurers, they did manage to kill it. Now, Airbus tells me shortly after that, Void declared war on Honk. Only internally, though. They don't talk to their Diplo anymore after their space court case was dismissed with prejudice. And we are now the only entity whose structures they are allowed to shoot. They decided to self-kill the last belt before, them Honk can get it. And it happened that night. And I did reach out to Void leadership to get their statement on the subject as well. And Amuxin says, Honk came for an intumescent belt in Void territory. Since these are such a rare item, we tried diplomacy first. We went through silent and asked them to tell Honk to leave the belt alone. We were told they asked, but Honk kept at the belt. We told them how much content these belts provide and that continued hostilities towards it would have consequences. They ended up mining it anyway. We can't let it end there. A unique piece of history was taken from us. We aren't at war with Honk, but we won't let the removal of this belt from play go unpunished. With only having one belt left, they decided to honor everyone involved in guarding and decided to harvest the belts themselves. They mined it. They sent out their oldest belt, 13 months old, out in style by mining it with dreadnoughts. Now, the fallout from the mined belts is still felt as Void sent in a fleet and killed one of Honk's capsular outposts. This one in the system of 9BQ Tech 80 within Syndicate. The capsular outpost was worth 2.5 billion ISK. No word yet if the fighting has escalated to both sides, but this does mirror how the Pantheon War started between Honk and Boop within Fountain that did finally blow up to the big war that we have, or had. But I'll keep my eyes out to see if this escalates further, and I'll let you guys know what I find out. Since we're talking about blowing up structures, the Alliance of Flying Circus, or more to the point, the Corporation Spanish Inquisition, returned back to their home of Fountain, their old home, and took out a Corporation outpost. This one located in the system of C-Tech C99Z and worth 13.2 billion. I'm told they also laid out a trap for the UF fleet, but they did escape the trap. But they did end up taking that citadel as a prize. Now, a few days ago, we're going to talk about cap kills now. We've had a record set for the tankiest cap kill ever in Eve Echoes. Now, this is the tankiest ship that has ever graced the Eve Echoes kill mills. Now, this Naglfar actually belonged to Vil, who is in Blap. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that he tanked 83.4 million damage in this fight. In fact, it took 4 hours to bring him down. Now, I was able to get an interview with him, and right now we're going to play that interview for you. So, let me start off first by asking you, how does it feel to be famous?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far as being famous, man. It is actually a lot of fun. I got a lot of good responses from people and a lot of good PMs from people. And I guess this event moved people more than I would have thought that it would. I lost the dread and made me famous.
Yeah. I mean, famous or not, I think you are going down in Eve Echoes history currently right now with the most tanked ship ever flown, auxiliary and super carriers and Titans.
Right.
I think it was 83 million. Or it was 83 billion, was it?
It's 83 million.
83 million.
That's
okay,
correct.
For the tank. And I heard one person said that the fight took 3 hours. I heard from another person it took 4 hours. Was it?
Well, it took 4 hours, but it's because the beginning of the fight was just a single group, SCG, that tackled me, and it took them about an hour to get reinforcements from Gopher. So it took about 4.
Was this a planned event that were you going out to lose the cap, or did they catch you by surprise?
No. I don't think anybody goes out there deliberately trying to lose a cap. It was more of a coming back home from another drunken roam in Syndicate with the cap. Yeah, it was a funny story actually, because we took 3 caps to Syndicate to help out friendly corp F99, and we fought with the wild geese, and I got pretty hammered on that Friday night, and I didn't make it back all the way home, so I came through Sect and parked my capital ship in NOL, and I was gonna plan for a quiet Saturday morning. It didn't turn out to be so. It turned out to be a quite eventful Saturday morning.
Yes, as I can see.
And I was just free burning the capital home, drinking coffee, and it all escalated into the glorious battle.
So how many ships set upon you at the max time? Like the total number of ships at the highest point of the fight?
Local was 155, but some of those numbers were friendlies, obviously, in pods watching the fight, and some of them were in cloakies, and because of the kill mill says 133, it's 137, so I believe the highest number of ever being fired upon by was 137 that got on the kill mill.
137 people trying to kill you at once. Now, did you call for reinforcements at all?
Oh yeah. We tried to. Well, obviously, in the beginning, I lost my personal escort fleet, which was the issue. I didn't travel by myself. I traveled with myself with 3 Vindicators and a Nightmare, and the SG guys did awesome at bubbling my fleet, because I was bringing support from Y2, which was only 8 jumps away, to deal with the fleet that originally tackled me. But it didn't turn out to be so because of the perfect hectoring almost at that point to cut me off from self-reinforcing. So I made the decision when I couldn't reach myself because my fit was no prop fit to warp to a planet, and then I got tackled there by frigates. I made the decision to sacrifice a Nightmare, which was a bad call, because that was one of my pilots that had enough IP to lose a faction battleship on, but at least if I could make the Vindicators reinforce the Naglfar in fight, maybe I could free myself to jump back or to get away. But obviously that wasn't the case, because the Gopher fleet was recently in that area, so for them to respond actually didn't take very long at all, and with proper fleet composition and setup, they immediately took out the Vindicator fleet. Obviously I tried to kill as many Logi as I could on the initial jump through the gate, but once they're set up obviously in the bubble and with the Drake Guardian, they were just not gonna lose any more ships to 3 Vindicators. So that's where I realized that I needed alliance level help, and people already prior to that were actually calling it out and setting up a reinforcement fleet to come in, which they did. Unfortunately, it was a numbers game. We later on found out that there was temporarily blue alliances being set up by other parties just to join the fight on killing the Dread, right? So it was gonna be it was already gonna go down as a bigger event, because that's what I would have done too. I would have just joined up with any other fleets in the area to try to take down a Dread. I mean, that's a big kill mill. It's a very exciting event for everybody to be part of it. And then that's when I found out later on that people were burning 40-50 jumps just to get there, and they didn't think they would get there in time, but then they spent an extra hour being there. So that was that's when it was getting exciting. I knew I was gonna lose the dread one way or another after we lost our initial reinforcement fleet to their fleet. It was just a matter of reaching out to other entities in the area that were gonna come and try to help. So I actually put the capital ship up for adoption. I just basically told everybody, hey, whoever comes and wipes the red fleet, I'll just personally give you my dread. So that got a lot of other people excited. So at one point we were gonna have either Red Sea or GenFed come in to try to assist, but GenFed unfortunately was too far away, and Red Sea took some time to basically rally all their cap pilots. I believe they were gonna drop somewhere between 5 or 10 dreads on the battlefield and save the day, and then gain another dread. But when people started slowly trickling in and the numbers were going up, that force became too big for them to try to deal with it. Obviously the dreads are not capable of destroying entire fleets as much as we would like to think. The DPS on them, unless you fit them that way, isn't that much more than a striker. So you need still proper fleet composition with the Guardians and Logis and whatnot. I had a lot of E-War on me, so I was basically taken out of the fight. I didn't even count as a ship, to be honest, on the field. With the tracking.
Were you able to get many kills with the?
No. The game doesn't work like that. Once you're the primary focus, that's why people question how come you fit all tank. I mean, that was kind of our goal anyways, going into capital warfare in BLAP, is to be as tanky as possible and not to be able to get sniped by enemy fleets, but at least be able to hit back. But once they're close to you, I don't think it matters if you're fit for strike cannons or if you're fit for autos, because if you have 16 tracking disruptors on you, you're not hitting anything anyways. I got nuded out in the first hour, so I lost all my cap after the first hour. So if you have a fleet that's fit with batteries and large newts, it will not take long. And trust me, I was triple semi-fit. I had a lot of cap. I forgot how much it was, but I think it was 160,000.
Well, I should hope so. I mean, for a 4-hour fight, yeah.
No, but it's like my total cap was nuded out after the first hour, but the rest of it I was surviving off of popping capacitors, even to turn on my resistances. So there were some mistakes made. I could have went for longer if at one point I fat fingered 2 batteries instead of activating it once. That's when I was still trying to talk to people, and I got distracted because there was about 4 messages a second coming in. Like, everybody was PMing me. They were trying to make me mess up and read messages and not focus. So then I started ignoring that because of the battery. And if I wouldn't have fat fingered the battery once, I think I lost about 80% of my dread armor on that one mistake. So it could have been significantly longer, and it is a learning curve.
Well, it is the next step in the PvP chain, is cap warfare. So, as I do have to ask, has it been resurrected yet, or is it still sitting in your dead pile?
There is no way to resurrect the dread. I mean, it's we ran the numbers on it.
20%.
Right. Yeah, we ran the numbers on it. So my initial insurance cost was going to be about 90,000 IP when I had it uninsured.
Right.
And we ran the numbers, and it's just basically easier to farm a dread than to insure it with the cost of Plex. And right now that the dread is dead and it died before he got insured, it jumped up to something about 169,000 IP.
Oh, ouch.
So it is definitely not worth to get that one back. And we had alliance programs to run these builds, and I think our alliance is going to continue. I'm not the next one in line to get a dread, and I wouldn't want to butt in and make this work, for my advantage of becoming somewhat famous of a dread pilot to cut in front of someone else who's been waiting. But the alliance does, in our alliance, help you out with the PI and with the minerals, and then basically the pilots, PvP pilots, just had to come up with the BP and with the button presses for us, and that's how my dread was built.
Nice.
Well, yeah, so I will definitely get back into the game and farm it again. I mean, I do have the 5 accounts, so it's somewhat easier than for someone who has just the 1 account. I know other people do more than that, more than 5. They're more, they're much wealthier than I am.
Yeah.
But it's still a task. It took me about 3 to 4 weeks of solid farming to get it. So right now I'm on break right now. Then let's just put it that way. Like work. I can't burn out to be back in a dread, real quick like that. I have to enjoy the PvP aspect of the game more, and to get into a dread, I already took away a lot of my time from the PvP. So I'm just gonna make do with what I have. My other accounts are hitting T10 in about 4 months, so that's something I'm looking forward to. I always wanted to fly a 5-man T10 battleship fleet.
Well,
so I think that's where my focus is on. But yeah, the dread, it will be it will come back. I will fly it again.
Well, we definitely hope to see you again. And I want to say again, congratulations for going down in the record books for the tankiest ship
thank you.
Possible, and for the 4 hours of content that you brought to the game. And in doing so, I do want to help you out by relieving some of the pressure off you. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a free Omega Duo combo.
Oh man, that's awesome. Appreciate that.
Anytime, man. And again, great content that you brought out. Great to everyone over there in Blap, right? You're in Blap, right?
Right.
Yeah. I got a bunch of friends over there, but yeah. Again, thank you for doing this interview, and yeah, that was some great stuff you did.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. I watch your show all the time too. Like, you create great content. That's why I agreed. I'm not a good public speaker, but I agreed to come and talk to you, man. It's good to see that you're still doing it. Like, I've been with you since the beginning.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Like all the way throughout Pantheon. Watch you week after week. It's great news. Like not everyone knows what's going on everywhere, but you do bring it to the.
I do try to
the people.
I do try to get all the information out.
No, I know. I bet it's a lot of work to get it done. I appreciate being on it and giving you this interview, man. So hope to talk to you next time.
Now, speaking of cap kills, congratulations does go out. ZRQ has officially got 19 capital kills under their belts, a total value of 700 plus billion ISK. Now, I do want to congratulate the pilots over at ZRQ for their hunting down and subsequently killing of all these capitals. As you can see in these blocked screenshots here of all their kills, it seems like that's what they are majoring in these days. With that, we also want to give a congratulations and welcome back to Liberator Pig, who has actually returned back to the game and right off the bat went out and started killing miners again. And since we're talking about capital kills, there is a story that basically the outcome did leave 2 pilots minus their caps. Now, this all started when the pilot Lynnwood decided to join a CVRT gate camp that he wasn't invited to, that I'm told. He said he's seen its existence and decided to warp in with Gray standing, and he did get fired upon and his Archon destroyed. Now, Lynnwood says he was duped into joining this gate camp, while the other side says that he was not duped. Either way, he did post a bounty on the players involved in blowing his Archon up. Now, this did escalate, and his alliance did get involved via diplomatic communications. And because it's Diplo Talk, I do not have the specifics within those conversations. But I am told that they did work everything out but I'm told that right after that he did leave that alliance. Now, fast forward a few days, pilot Crazybull was flying his dreadnought, the Revelation. And I'm not sure if this is linked to the bounty, but the Order 66 happened, and 2 of his teammates did turn on him and AWOGs him, destroying his dreadnought. Now, these pilots were subsequently kicked from CVRT. I'm told that one was actually quitting the game, whereas the other one was already set to join PEW within No Please Stop. Now, I did reach out to Crazybull, who was obviously upset about how he did lose his dreadnought, but he did say that it's already recovered, and he's actually building a secondary one so that he has a backup when that one goes as well. Now, he did say that it is ISK positive versus what it cost him to initially build it, and he forwarded me all the kill mails that he had while flying the Revelation, sorry. Now, he did use the insurance to cover this. He said he could have built another one, but he just wanted to have it back, and to him, time is money, and he had the money to resurrect it. It cost about 130,000 insurance points, but he wanted to have his ship back in time. Now, since then, he did put out a bounty, and we're going to repeat this back in the section, the bounty board section. But the bounty currently is 5 billion ISK for every dread kill mail flown by the pilot Howard 29 Pullman. Now, the details of this will be in the bounty section, where you can find out what he has to be flying for you to get that payout, as well as his hangouts. Now, I don't have a Corporation Alliance Spotlight this week, but I do want to highlight 2 separate Discords that you actually might find good and entertaining. The first one is called New Eden Trade. Now, this is for all your buying and selling and trading needs, so this way you don't have to sit in Jita spamming contracts or list your things up on the marketplace praying that it's going to sell. This Discord is for your buying and selling, no matter what your affiliation. This covers all your needs. It covers a wide variety of categories. Basically, consider it the Craigslist and Backpage of New Eden. Now, a link to both of these Discords will be below in the description. The other Discord is New Eden Radio. Now, this used to be the old Pantheon Radio, but since Pantheon's no more, it is now open to everyone in New Eden. That's right, it has live DJs as well as music playing 24/7. You can find many of your content creators here, as well as a live, provocative show every Sunday. And it's just a great place to listen to some music, get some entertainment, and talk to your fellow pilots, no matter what side they are on outside of the game. Now, we are going to move right into what the fit this week with the industrialist PvP pilot who wants to do it all. That's right, this pilot decided to go with an APOC striker, but he's not a fan of lasers. That's why he decided to put on the medium torpedo launchers instead, as well as equip this ship with 5 mining lasers. I'm not sure if he thought the striker mode would allow him to mine faster or not, but the ship was subsequently taken out and worth 2.1 billion. That's right, don't let anyone ever tell you what you can and cannot fly, or what you can and cannot equip. There's only suggestions, you know, those silly things like ship bonuses. But if you see another ship out there that has a fit that has your mind kind of going, what the fit? Well, you just send it on over to me and I'll make sure it gets featured. Now, we do have a fresh bounty up on the board this week, and the target's name is Howard 29 Pullman. This bounty is issued by Crazybull, and it is for 5 billion upon the kill of his Nagelfur. After the verification in-game, that 5 billion will be reset to whichever cap that he is caught in. This target has been last seen in Ned and Hophib, and there is no ending to this bounty, so as long as he keeps flying caps and you keep killing him, you will get yourself 5 billion ISK. Please send all kill mails to Crazybull in-game or via Discord. Now we're going to jump right into the big kills. Remember, the big kills of the week are 5 billion plus, and they only reflect the kills that are sent directly to me. Silent Alliance comes in first with a 9.5 billion Raven Striker kill. Blap gets a 5.9 billion Rattlesnake kill. Genesis sends in a 14.1 billion Nereus 2 kill, a 5.8 billion Nightmare kill, 2 Vindicators, one at 5.3 billion, the other at 5.6 billion, as well as 2 APOC Striker kills, one at 6.8 billion, and the other at 7 billion. The Six Seal Alliance sends in 2 Balgorn kills, one for 6 billion, the other for 6.1, 2 Rattlesnake kills, one for 5.3, the other for 5.4, a 8.8 billion Daemonxel 2 kill, a 5.1 billion Macarial kill, a 5.8 billion Nightmare kill, a 5.3 billion Orthrus kill, and the kill of the week, a 22.3 Barghest kill. SMY sends in a 13.6 billion Macarial kill. Happy Bees sends us a 5.1 billion Nightmare kill, as well as a 5.6 billion Raven Striker kill. No Please Stop sends in a 6 billion Macarial kill, and a 7.4 billion Balgorn kill. And AAA Ad Astra sends in a 5.1 billion Rattlesnake kill, a 12.4 billion Battlegorn kill, and a 6.5 billion Nightmare kill. Now, we do have a few capital kills this week, and if you or your alliance gets a capital kill, please send it in to me to be featured in this section. CVRT gives us a 31.2 billion Archon kill. No Please Stop gets 2 capital kills between now and the last video. A 48.1 billion Revelation kill, as well as a 44.4 billion Chimera kill. NVS and KSS gives a 37.6 billion Thanatos kill. And ZRQ comes in with a 41.1 billion Revelation kill. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, and that is the chance at winning a free Omega combo, the solo kills of the week. We're going to start off with the industrial category. And the first one is Mark Tresor with a 1.1 billion Nereus 2 kill. Missy Kinky with a 1.7 billion Terra kill. Fiber with a 2.1 billion Coveter 2 kill. Bravos with a 3.6 billion Outpost kill. Yellow Flash with a 4.4 billion Coveter 2 kill. And the winner this week of the industrial solo kills of the week is Yari Jark with a 6.6 billion Bestower kill. Now let's move right into the PvP kills of the week solo. And we have Pandora with a 2.014 billion Daredevil kill. Commander Ryan with a 2.035 Daemonxel kill. Kevinator 1990 with a 3 billion APOC Striker kill. Alucard Izamo with a 3.3 billion Gila kill. Resi Black gives us a 3.4 billion Atron Interceptor kill. Valgor du Geneb gives us a 4.5 billion Macarial kill. Hostile gives us a 5 billion Stratios kill. Nabozo gives us a 5.1 billion Rattlesnake kill. Rhinash gives us a 7 billion Slasher 2 Interceptor kill. And the winner of the PvP category of the solo kills of the week, Sharika Dariel with a 9.5 billion Raven Striker kill. Alright guys, congratulations on your wins. Please DM me on Discord to receive your prize and the instructions on how to get those. But I am also giving out a third Omega combo this week, and that's for the solo kills, the ludicrous size. Now, the reason is there's been some recent kills because the compressed ore prices are completely insane right now in the game. And this gives us a few kills that are just insane. Okay, the first on the list is a kill by Silent Assassin for 172 billion Kairos kill. Next on the list is Concord Police. They got a 643 billion CNI. Next up, the Caldari Sentry Guns killed a 1 trillion Magnet Covert Ops. Crazy Croaker kills a 1.3 trillion Balgorn. And the ludicrous winner this week is fellow content creator Sheev Palpatine with a 10 trillion procurer kill. Now, because Sheev is a content creator and he gets his own Omega combos to give out each week, I am giving this one to him, but it's up to him who he can give this to. He can keep it for himself, or he can pass it along to any of his fans. And that's going to finish us off this week. Now, remember, starting on the next episode, it's going to be broken down, so you're going to have the shorter videos to watch, not these long-ass videos to get through. Also, be on the lookout for the next Content Creator Summit video, which was recorded about 2 weeks ago, but due to real life, I have not been able to release it yet. But if you need more news in your life, I suggest you go on over and check out Sky News, the premier Russian Eve Echoes news outlet. Don't worry, yes, the videos are in Russian, but there are English subtitles to follow along with. They have a great production team, and that's just a great crew over there. Also, be sure to check out Rambo's Echoes of New Eden podcast each week with a new format. It's a great round table, great bouncing back with the co-hosts. I'm sure you're really going to enjoy it. And with that, we sign off. So have a great weekend, have a great week. Fly safe. Remember, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front.